So hey guys, and welcome back to another movie review. So today we've got a pretty late review. I know this film came out quite a while ago in America. We only got it here in Australia about a week ago I think, but this is the earliest I've been able to see it, so this is my review for Insidious Chapter 2. So Insidious Chapter 2 is directed by James Wan, who directed the original Insidious film. He also did the first Saw film, Dead Silence, Death Sentence and The Conjuring that came out earlier this year, so he's a really well known horror director of the past decade. And this, in my opinion, was definitely one of his best films. So if you've seen the first Insidious film, you know that it ended kind of unfinished, and we didn't really know if we were going to get an Insidious Chapter 2 or not, but I'm really glad that they did it because they followed up the story really well. I thought that they mixed parts from the first film in really well to this second film, and it didn't feel like just another cash grab sequel film. It actually felt like it had some substance to it, and I actually preferred it to the original film. So basically, by the end of the first Insidious film, the lead character Josh, who's played by Patrick Wilson, he's gone to this place called the Further to find his son Dalton, his spirit life, and bring him back. It's kind of a weird story, you won't understand it unless you've actually seen the film, but he brought something back with him, a spirit inside of his body, and that's kind of where the first film ends and where the second one pretty much immediately picks up from. So throughout this second film, the Lambert family is still trying to get through all the events that have happened, and these things are still happening to them no matter where they move, what house they're in. These ghosts have kind of followed them and they're kind of there to stay with their family now. So Josh's character has this ghost thing living inside of him, and it's kind of taking over his body and making him do things that he wouldn't normally do. And it kind of reminds you of Jack Nicholson's performance in The Shining, so that was a really good performance, and this was also a good performance too. So it's a bit of a hard story to go and explain too much in depth of, but it did its job really well. It got the story across, it conveyed certain aspects from the first film that may have been missed or misunderstood, and it showed the events that actually occurred behind those scenes. So it kind of ties up all the loose ends of the first film. But I thought that this film was really good actually. It did have a few jump scares, but it was pretty genuine for most of the film. I thought that yeah, most of the scares in it were actually well received and they were pretty good for a horror film. And I was looking forward to it because James Wan is known for making good horror films. He did The Conjuring earlier this year, which is a really good film based on a true story. So this film just being made up by James Wan and Leigh Whannell, it definitely had more room to just go crazy. So you pretty much get the exact same cast from the first film. You get Patrick Wilson back, Byrne as his wife, Simpkins, Shaye, Barbara Hershey. So I thought this film was really decent, and it's just another one of those films that goes to show you don't need to have a lot of blood, gore or bad language and violence and nudity in a horror film to be good these days, because James Wan does really good movies without having to do all of that other stuff in his films. So some parts of this movie were really quite freaky, and I was freaked out by some of it, which is really good because it means it's doing its job. And yeah, so I recommend this film if you're a fan of horror films or the first Insidious film or any other James Wan film, because it's really a decent film. All the acting's great. The soundtrack was also really good and really creepy. It also kind of reminded me of the soundtrack of The Shining, just that really eerie, unsettling type music. And I was surprised also that I liked it better than the original film, just a bit better. So I'm not going to say what happens in the end, but it does kind of lead on to a separate story, which I don't know if it's going to be a third movie in the trilogy. I'm not sure or not, or if it's just there, but I would be happy for them, as long as James Wan's directing it, to do a third film. But either way, it was still a good ending. So I really enjoyed Insidious Chapter 2, and I'm going to give it a very high B+. It was a good horror film, very solid. So thanks for watching this review guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely recommend the film if you're a horror fan. It's definitely one to see. It'd be great if you could subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.